posh lifestyle and love what you do.
Let me tell you about a news site that carries the news that you would want to know. News that's not the same as the rest of lamestream media, but a site that lets you know about the most important news on health, economics, tech, entertainment, science, food, sports, world news, positive living, paradigm shift, and a lot more. Go to theposhreportonline.co.
To know who you are, you have to know where you come from. Honor and respect those who help pave the way, working hard, sacrificing, saving, and building a future for you and your family. We are One United Bank, America's largest black-owned bank, with offices in Boston, Los Angeles, and Miami. We invite you to join our effort in building economic power in America by opening an account at www.oneunited.com. Join the movement today and make your money matter for you and generations to come.
Get ready, New Orleans. It's time for Big Q and the guys.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the Pro Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Welcome to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. Welcome all of our Pelican fans that's made their way here. Thank you for joining us on the Pelican post-game report. We have a very special show for you today. And joining me live in the studio is DC. How you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm sick of being a Midland team. That's how I'm doing. I'm trying to see these Pelicans get over the hump.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something, man. I'll make a funny joke with y'all in just a second before we do our rundown. But in this spectacular show, we're going to cover a lot of stuff from the Pelicans today. Also, we're going to break down the 3 games that the Pelicans faced last. It's been a few days before we did our last few contests. Shows dealing with the Pelicans. The games that they played off against the last 3 home games was 3-game homestand against the New Jersey Nets, the Dallas Mavericks, and of course the New York Knickerbockers, all on a 3-game stand. Could the Pelicans pull it off, pull up the impossible, and win all 3 of those games, which would give them which they were on a 2-game winning streak at the time. Then it will transmit to a 5-game winning streak, which would then put the Pelicans up a few games head into 2018. Could that be the case?
They could, but will they?
Will they? They will not. And we trying to build it up for you. So we don't want to build you up and then drop you off the cliff. But hey, we're not doing it. It's the Pelicans doing it to you. DC, we're looking at a few of these games. The matchup against the New Jersey Nets, we'll start with that. And, of course, we'll preview the Jazz matchup tonight at going up against the Utah Jazz in Salt Lake City. We'll preview that toward the back end of the podcast. Very interesting stuff about the Pelicans in this game. Facing off against the New Jersey Nets, it didn't seem like a bad game. They were able to actually increase their win total. They went on a 3-game winning streak, winning this game 128-113, and they looked terrific in this game. This is also the same game where Rajon Rondo had 25 assists in the game, and he was only the 7th player in NBA history to reach that mark. And I think he was the oldest player in NBA history to ever have 25 assists in one game. But he was an assist fool out of there, and he did a fantastic job as the Pelicans shot 53% from the field, 51.5% from three-point line. They only turned the ball over 11 times. Boy, that's terrific. Then 51 total rebounds on the night. The Pelicans had it all going. They had it all rolling in this game.
They sure did.
And they really put a pretty good game together. What was your thinking on this game before we go into some interviews by Mr. Ryan, Elvin Gentry?
That's the Pelicans. That was my thinking. That is the team you would imagine them to be when you take all these parts or players and put them together. You would imagine them to be a team that is unselfish, where everybody gets their points. anybody can score at any given moment with Alvin Gentry's open system. This is what we envision the Pelicans to be. The only problem I have with this game, they did it against the Brooklyn Nets. Who probably don't even have the best player on their team. He's hurt, which would be the little guy from
D'Angelo Russell.
the Lakers, D'Angelo Russell. He was hurt.
Right.
I think they were missing.
Okafor didn't play either.
Okafor didn't play.
Yeah.
So we basically did this against some nice reserve players. We didn't have any superstars to contend with. You're supposed to play like that against a team like that.
You're supposed to dominate the teams that you're supposed to dominate. You're not supposed to peddle around with them.
Right.
And here's Coach L. Gentry, who usually loves these type of post-game reports after he wins. Here's Gentry in the Nets win.
Maybe he stopped smelling this.
Other than that run in there, I thought we did a great job defensively. I thought the most impressive thing was that if you look at the way we moved the basketball, we had 45 baskets, we got 40 assists. And so to me, that's telling me that, we're looking for open guys, we're passing up. And we did. We passed up some good shots to try to get great shots. And I thought we just did a really, really good job of moving the basketball. And when you do that, obviously, you can shoot a high percentage. So once again, we're over 50 from the field and over 50 from the three-point line. So I think when we're doing that kind of ball movement and cutting and finding people, then we have the capability of having 40 assists in a game.
Coach, would you mind sharing the conversation you had with Rajon Rondo there on the floor late as he was approaching his career-high 25th assist?
No, I just said that, great job. I thought everybody did a great job. I thought he did a good job of still trying to find the open man rather than just – I don't think he was hunting for assists. I think he was just playing and it got to that number right there. So I think it's great for him. I think we missed some easy shots that, could have put him in a position maybe to have the NBA record. But, to me, just winning the game was great. And I thought we took care of business right from the start to finish, other than that little spot in there in the third quarter where we kind of let them get back in the game.
What does it say about your team, Alvin, that after the 2 wins on the road and then kind of in a prolonged break to come and as some guys have said tonight, take care of business tonight?
I think it's important for us, and I think the focus was there, and that kind of focus, I think, gives you an opportunity to have consistency, and I still think that's the thing that we've got to search for, that consistency night in and night out of, not scoring 128 points, but just being really locked into what we're doing and what we're trying to get done.
Special with that performance from Rondo. I mean, you've seen a lot of guys and a lot of assists.
To be honest with you, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, I'm not like, wow, that's great. I think he's very capable of doing that, and he's done it in other situations. And rebounding-wise too, where here's a point guard that have come up with 17 rebounds in a game. So the way he plays and the way he understands the game, the 25 assists doesn't really surprise me.
That's Coach L. Gentry talking about the breakdown, and of course the Pelicans-Nets matchup. Of course, here's some news items for you. New Orleans was 53%, 48 of 90 from the field, including 7 of 33 from deep. That was 51%. Etwine Moore and Anthony Davis combined for 8 of the Pelicans' 17 triples, hitting 4 each. Davis tied his career high for 3-point field goals made for the 5th time in his career. New Orleans recorded a franchise record 40 assists and 48 baskets. Of course, Rajon Rondo had a lot of those assists. Brooklyn's bench recorded 80 of their 113 points. 3 Brooklyn reserves scored 18 plus. That we'll get into that later on in the show as well. Brooklyn's, why those benches is something. 4 of New Orleans starters finished with 20 points each. You had 4 starters: Holiday, Moore, Davis, and Cousins, all in the 20s. Trailing by 11-10, New Orleans went on a 21-4 run to take a 31-15 lead with 1:53 remaining in the first quarter. Trailing at 98-58, the largest deficit of the game with 3:15 remaining in the third quarter. Brooklyn closed the frame on a 17 run to cut the Pelican lead down to 16 head to the final period, with New Orleans leading by 14 with 11:25 remaining in regulation. The Pelicans went on a 15-3 run to push their lead to 106-80 with 7 minutes remaining in the game. New Orleans has now won 8 of their last 10 meetings at home against the Nets. They love playing the Nets. The Nets is all Nets against the Nets because the Nets are a bottom-dwelling team. They're not a middling team. They're a bottom-dwelling team in the NBA. It's just what it is. They are a team.
They're plankton.
They are plankton. They are NBA plankton. Thank you, DC. Now, before we go into our next game, what's your take on this Pelican win here?
I think it's a good win, but it's not the type of win where you be like, "Oh man, you see that Pelicans game? Oh man, they ready," because they didn't beat anybody. I mean, this is what you're supposed to do against a team like that. So I thought it was a good momentum starter for the little 3-game stretch they were gonna go on before they got a break. So it was good. It was good. I was impressed with Rondo.
Yes.
Getting the 26 assists. And I like the fact that DeMarcus Cousins
25.
hardly had any turnovers. He's going to get numbers. I'm not concerned with his numbers. He's a great player. So with great players, all you can do is work on their efficiency and looking at ways where they can be more efficient. So,
well, let's play Rajon Rondo right now. Speaking of which, and give you his ideas on the record-breaking.
Thanks for joining.
Yes,
He's definitely coming home playing for these fans, and they gave us a lot of energy tonight, so we were able to come out and continue a couple-game win streak.
Obviously tonight you joined a pretty exclusive club. So you're one of 4 players in the history of the NBA to have multiple 23-plus assist games. You and Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, and John Stockton. Coach said you're a great student of the game. How do you feel about being in that kind of company?
It's definitely an honor, to be mentioned with those guys, especially with passing the ball, so I take pride in. But I couldn't do it without my teammates making shots, so I'll give those guys the credit.
Are you aware of what the record is, like Scott Skiles' record?
They told me once the game was over, but like I said, we got the win, and I thought we were done in the third, but we had to come back in and do a little more things. So.
Did you kind of feel those numbers piling up? Was there a moment where you looked up and said, "Oh God, I got to 20" or whatever?
Check told me out when I had 18, so I spoke to Drew and he handled the rest.
And you finished the night with 2 points, 25 assists. How does that kind of embody the way you approach the game? Just kind of down to score.
Well, the number one thing is we got the win, and then me personally, I love passing the ball. I think when everyone touches the ball, it gives you energy and life on defense. So that's why I'm a big believer in getting everybody touches and getting everybody a little bit of energy on both ends of the floor.
Have you always kind of been that way? The pass first guy, growing up playing?
No, I used to score a little bit back in the day, but the game has changed for me in the NBA, and I've been playing with been blessed to play with a lot of great players. And what I take pride in is making those guys' job a lot easier.
What does it say about the potential of this team as a scoring team? I mean, you play with a lot of great players, right? A lot of good teams. To set a record with these guys.
It means a lot, especially I think we had 45 baskets or 40 assists, so that speaks for itself. It wasn't just me, it was our team, collective effort of us. The ball was hopping and we were making plays for one another.
Defensively tonight was really an important. You guys played a great, solid effort on defense. It seemed like you were able to recover. And on offense, also the turnovers were really those things.
That's Rajon Rondo breaking down a spectacular night he had against the Brooklyn Nets. As he was able to master a very nice night, Rondo finished with 25 assists, being the oldest player to do such a feat. And when we come back,
how amazing is it that you can score 2 points and be like almost the player of the game? Well, the player of the game.
Only Rondo.
Almost.
But they had an easy win over New Jersey as 4 of the Pelicans were in 20 points. They cruised. But we'll come into the next game against the Dallas Mavericks, and we'll cover some more information dealing with these games on the other side of breaks. Dealing with the Mavericks and the Knicks game that wasn't so kind to the Pelicans. So stay with us. You're listening to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network.
In a world of corporate propaganda, support the true independents, telling it like it is with no teleprompter. Go to www.theposhlifestyle.com, life spelled L-Y-F-E, and donate to keep independent media strong. Donate now.
What up, sports world? This Big Q from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, and I'm here to tell you about the website, theposhlifestyle.com. The Posh, P-O-S-H, life spelled with a Y-L-Y-F-E style.com. You can go there and get all of your natural and organic needs met. Herbs and supplements for all over the body, healing crystals, beautiful jewelry, ionizers, alkalizers, and water filters to take all of the fluoride and chlorine and all of the filth out of your water. They got personal products, natural soaps. They even got deodorant without aluminum in it that is known to cause cancer. Dig that. Also books and entertainment to educate yourself. And they have a lot of EMF protection and healing magnetics. Now, you know EMF, that helps. They have diodes you can place on your phone or on certain electrical gadgets that can neutralize the harmful EMF radiation. Dig that. All of that is on sale at theposhlifestyle.com. Dozens of products, easy to use website. I use it all the time. Very easy to use and very safe. Protected website. You can go there, feel safe and shop. I shop there all the time. You can go there and give us a donation. Anyway, go check them out. The Posh Lifestyle. Go to theposhlifestyle.com. Check them out. Poshlifestyle.com. Check them out. Get your mind and body right with the Posh Lifestyle.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelicans.
Attention, everyone.
Get breakdown on games, free agent signings and potential moves, unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Balance. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the Pro Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Welcome back to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. We're still talking Pelicans. Matter of fact, we're going to talk about the unpleasantry of the next two games as they faced off against the Dallas Mavericks and ultimately the New York Knicks. We'll also preview the final game tonight against the Utah Jazz. Of course, they were destroyed by the Jazz earlier this year. They don't play the Jazz well in Utah. That's just how it goes for whatever reason under El Gentry. They don't play well up there. Not too many teams do. But most certainly, even though the Pelicans, I think, have more talent than that team, they more ultimately might end up losing to that team. It's just, hey, you can't beat the Dallas Mavericks. You can't beat the New York Knicks, who are terrible on the road, in your building. What makes you think that you're going to go somewhere where you're not good at and win? But enough of my predictions. Before we get into anything else, let's cover this game right here. As Elvin Gentry, matter of fact, let's hear what Coach El Gentry had to say about this, the loss against let's tune it up here, people. Let's see what we got here for the Mavericks. Actually, against the Mavericks, AD, man, played okay in this game. AD always plays well.
Played okay in what game?
Against the Mavericks. He's a guy that always, to me, that I think is terrific. I mean, he's like he's a Drew Brees of the team, pretty much.
He's a walking double-double.
The man gets in there, he battles his ass off.
Wake up out of bed and get a double-double.
Easy. You know, he battles his ass off every night, and then he looks to the coach to give him some help. And Coach Eldrin Gentry says, "Hey, man, I can't give you no help.
Go ahead and make it happen, AD.
I'm just too damn busy trying to save my job. You young, you can handle it." And I joke about that, man, but honestly, you look at some of the statistics about this game. They lose to Dallas 128-120. This team averaged pretty much 100 points a game or something like that. I have to research it, but I know I found out they weren't they don't average that many points. They average like 103, 105 a game. But the Pelicans,
we got a way of making other people's offenses better.
Everybody better than us. It's amazing to me. You come into this matchup, you faced off against this team, you battle with them, then you have an opportunity to close the game down. The Pelicans did not do that. They were lackadaisical in the first. They were outscored by 15 points in the first quarter alone. Then they were able to battle back somewhat in the second, making it more respectable. Then they did a good job in the third, but could not carry the day. They couldn't get over that hump of that initial 15 points as Dallas just kept outstanding the lead, and they buried the Pelicans. Of course, you could say, well, hey, man, listen, Big Q. Dallas shot a ridiculous and unrealistic, unbelievable 56% from downtown. And guess what? I get you. I understand.
But why is that, though? Because they didn't shoot 56% the game before that.
But hey, I'm telling you, I can sympathize with that.
That's how I look at it.
But the Pelicans shot 26% in this game. They shot less than half of what the Dallas Mavericks shot, which was 56, over 50%, 56%, bordering 57%.
How you gonna win?
From the 3-point line, of course. And then also, if that don't float your boat, Dallas also shot 55% from the field. So they wasn't just shooting you out of gym from downtown. They was also shooting and hitting field goal shots. It was from the field, not just beyond the three. While the Pelicans had 49%, which was a closer discrepancy. The mind-blending thing about it is the fact that they only turned
from the free throw line.
But that's we go back to my standard things. If you listen to all the shows from me covering at the Pelican post-game report, and even going into some sports coma shows, I talk about the fundamentals of this team. This team is not sound fundamentally. Because if you were sound fundamentally, fundamentals transmit into consistency. When you're fundamentally sound in the basics, that means it translates into consistency. This team did not turn the ball over. Only 8 turnovers in this game. I would dare say that's probably the less time they turned the ball over.
This is a telling stat to me. They forced the other team into 15 turnovers, right? They only turned it over 8 times. And guess how many times they had to lead? 0.
It's amazing to me.
How does that happen?
Because they don't convert turnovers into points.
That is not being fundamentally sound. There's no way you can be fundamentally sound. Force 15 turnovers, only give up 8, and never take the lead.
Never take the lead. And that's the funny part about the whole matrix is when we talk about things dealing with Al Gentry and dealing with how this team is being coached. They had the Mavericks, like you speak to your point, 18 points. The Pelicans only had 16 points off of 18 turnovers.
Right.
How's that even possible? 18 turnovers, you're supposed to be up in the 20s, maybe the 30s. Like some team, if the Pelicans had turned the ball over 18 times, I would assure you that the opposing team would have had at least 25 points.
I think some of it is we don't run a traditional offense, but I like that we don't run a traditional offense. But I think at certain times, critical moments, other possessions, not other possessions, but important possessions, that maybe we should have a little bit of a traditional offense. We have the 2 best big men in the league. Maybe we should do some of that old-timey stuff and draw up a play.
That's like my son said, old-timey stuff. Big ups to Rob and G.
And throw the ball down in the post. Make it happen.
Make it happen. Let's listen to some stuff here. We're going to listen to Coach Al Gentry's take on the Pelicans and Mavericks post-game report. Post-game. I mean, enlighten us, Coach.
Oh, I just think we didn't start with the same energy that we normally started with. And, we missed some shots early. We weren't as connected defensively as I thought we should have been. And so, obviously, they got off to a great start shooting the basketball. And then, when you get that kind of separation, from our standpoint, now we got to almost play the perfect game to get back. And, I thought the guys did a great job of battling and kind of cutting it and getting there. But one or two mistakes here still gives them enough separation to win the game. So I think it's really difficult when you get down. I don't know what we were down, 26 or 25 or something. Now you got to start to work your way back. There's just way too many obstacles to overcome when you do that. And obviously they shot the ball exceptionally well from three tonight. They made 22 of them. Some of them were dare shots. A lot of them were challenge shots, but this is after they made some and feeling pretty good about themselves. So it's one of those losses that is really tough because it's a home loss. And we keep talking about how you have to establish yourself in this league at home, and we just hadn't done that. And wins like this, losses like this hurt you when you're trying to do what we're trying to do.
Coach, did you make an adjustment along the way, or did you simply say, hey, look, let's stick with the plan because surely they can't shoot this way the whole night? Probably
no, we stuck with the plan, but we got to get better in screen and roll. I think they really hurt us in screen and roll. You look at the guys that they Dennis Smith hurt us in screen and rolls. Yogi hurt us in screen and rolls. J.J. Barrera hurt us in screen and roll, and even Devin Harris. So they got four guys that really kind of hurt us in screen and roll, and we have to do a better job defensively in those screen and roll situations. And then we got to also try to make a few adjustments here and there. But you can't give up 22 threes. Well, you can't have them shoot 55% from the field and 56 from three and think you're going to win. They're not a really high-scoring team in this league anyway. You give up 77 the first half. You're going to put yourself in harm's way.
Coach, just 10 bench points for you guys. Did that have an effect on the game tonight?
I don't know if it did or not because some nights we get a lot of production from the bench, and some night we don't. I thought our big problem tonight, obviously, was defensively. If you give up 128, I think it's going to be hard for you to beat any team in this league. So
that's Coach L. Gentry breaking down the Dallas game.
Do a better job.
The reporter astutely asked a very powerful question about the bench, and of course, L. Gentry said, "Hey, yeah, I understand why the bench is struggling, but hey, the problem is when anytime a team give up 128 points on you, it's because of the defense." And the funny part about it is the fact that the Pelicans, like we always stress, free throws, defense, transitional defense is suffering. Turnovers, which that wasn't an issue today, only had 8, in which they gave up 11 points off of 8 turnovers. And the fact
crazy that the one time we get single-digit turnovers, we
get double digits, get blown out by 8. But the fact that Matt said, well, Dallas was just too hot. That's not necessarily the case. The Pelicans, if you watch this game toward the fourth quarter, they were within 3 points of taking this game, and all of a sudden the Pelicans big started shooting 3-pointers. Just start jacking them up. And I'm like, it's so frustrated. Hey, stop doing that, Anthony Davis.
I think somebody should put a big piece of paper that let
Anthony
them know.
Davis, stop shooting the 3. DeMarcus Cousins, stop shooting the 3. Just go to the basket and
behind that, they should write the number 35 because that's the percentage that they shoot from the 3.
It's amazing. It's common sense. But we're going to give you some more stats on why this is happening. We're going to break it down on the other side of the break when we have a little bit more time to go into the numbers. But trust and believe, we've been watching this team play. We know what's going on with this team. We'll enlighten you on the other side of the break. We're going to finish up on this Dallas Mavericks game. We're going to tell you about the New York
and how
loss.
DeMarcus Cousins shot 10 threes. Why?
It's just amazing, man. We're going to cover it all on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. Stay with us.
Thank you for listening to the Pro Media Network, who provides hours and hours of free edutainment to you and yours. If you are benefiting positively from our content, please donate to help us grow our platform by going to www.patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. That's www.patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. And support the true independent artists.
What's up, world? This is DC from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Have you ever been sitting in front of your computer screen, or in traffic, tired, lacking energy, feeling drained? Did you know there are electromagnetic fields or EMF waves all around you that cause this disease? Get it? Dis-ease? Luckily here at Posh Lifestyle, you can get your EMF protection. They have pendants, the shell-dyed bricks, cubes, and pyramids. Check out the PoshLifestyle.com. That's life spelled with a Y. PoshLifestyle.com for all your health needs. So get your mind and body right with a Posh Lifestyle.
Clear, clean, great-tasting filtered water. We're all thirsty for it. But in the U.S. alone, an estimated 2.5 million plastic bottles are added to the environment each year in search of the perfect drink of water. There has to be a better solution, and there is. Crystal Quest, a leader in the manufacturing of water filtration technology, has been providing clean, drinkable water for 20 years. Crystal Quest has been recognized by such leaders as Consumers Digest, Dr. Oz, and Colin Ingram's The Water Drinking Book, offering our customers the cleanest and most environmental-friendly drinking water at a rating of high purity. With Crystal Quest's water filtration technology, you can rest assured that your water will be crystal clear. Contact our network of authorized distributors and join our thousands of satisfied customers.
Just log into thePoshLifestyle.com. Once again, that is thePoshLifestyle.com.
Check out the Crown They Ass World podcast with three kings covering all the news and issues that affect you and the ones you care about. Only on the PRO Media Network.
Forget ESPN or Fox.
Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Welcome back to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. We're still talking about the Dallas Mavericks. It's called the Dallas debacle. That's what I'm going to call it. The debacle in Dallas that ultimately cost the Pelicans that win 128-120.
It was a late Christmas.
It was a disrespectful Christmas present nonetheless because the Pelicans weren't able to pull it off. Now, of course, we just heard Alvin Gentry. We're going to play Anthony Davis next and see what Anthony thinks about the loss to Dallas. Of course, it snapped the Pelicans. It snapped the Pelicans' 3-game winning streak. What was it, 2-game winning streak? No, 3-game winning streak that they had started. And with 2 more wins, could have pushed it at 5. Going into the new year, 5-game winning streak, no doubt it. Teams on the other line. But what does the Pelican do? They do what the Pelicans do. Become an inconsistent team.
Pelicans fly low to the water. So.
And something jumped out the water, snatched and pulled them underneath. And here's Anthony Davis to confirm.
We didn't have any energy. Let them get comfortable. They didn't feel it defensively. We didn't play any physicality. They got easy layups, easy threes, a lot of dare shots in. They saw it getting hot. Because we allowed them to. And, so you get down 26 and then you just try to fight back from there. But we can't come out. And we haven't done it in a while, but we needed this one. We needed this win. We need all of them, honestly. But this would have been a big one for us, and we didn't come out with energy in the first quarter.
Coach mentioned that they started making their shots, like you said, as the game progressed, but early they did that partly because they got off to such a good start. Was there something you could pinpoint defensively of why they were able to?
We wasn't talking. We've been talking of late. We wasn't talking today. I wasn't talking. I usually come and bring the energy, and the team, feeds off of that. We wasn't running. It was a number of things, but we can't allow ourselves to come out and play like that in the first quarter. We wasn't worried about the scoring. I mean, we only scored, I forgot how many points in the first quarter, and it still ended up scoring 10 plus. So, we can't allow ourselves to worry about our scoring. We got to lock in defensively every night, and the rest will take care of itself.
You guys talked a lot about the Sacramento loss being a bad one here at home. Does this one fall into that same category?
Each loss is different. I mean, we're going to look at it tomorrow and just see where we can get better. But we got another one tomorrow. So, we got to have a short memory with this one and just try to come out and get the Knicks tomorrow. But every loss that we lose is a bad loss for us. Like I said, we want to win them all, but they shot the ball well from 3, I think like 56%, but we allowed them to do that.
Anthony Davis said they shot the ball well from 3, but we allowed them to do that. You know what, Anthony Davis? I would concur with your analysis, sir.
I like him taking responsibility, and I think he's sending a message to his team too, saying we allowed them to do that. We allowed them to do that. It's a message I feel he's sending to the locker room because
Absolutely.
we know Anthony Davis is probably the best defensive player on the whole team.
More than
How
likely,
many allowed shots did he give up? Probably not many.
Not many. It's crazy because you look at Coach Carlisle is one of the top respected coaches in the NBA. He marched out a 10 rotation, a 10 player rotation out there. His bench looked really good. They scored a lot of points and helped this team happen. Now, of course, Dirk Nowitzki didn't. He played 25 minutes. He was on the shelf, 13 points, 12 rebounds. Top man for them was Dennis Smith Jr., the rookie. He played 31 minutes. He was 8 of 12. He was conservative. Shot 5 of 7 from downtown. They could not stop him. He had 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. He had his first triple-double. Excellent game from the rookie against our bigs, which our big three, Anthony Davis always brings it at 33 points, 5 rebounds. DeMarcus Cousins, 32 points, 20 rebounds, 8 assists. But like DC astutely mentions, he shot the ball 3 of 10 from downtown, which that's a no-no. DeMarcus Cousins should not be allowed to shoot anything over 6 3-point attempts every game. He had 10 and only made 3 of them. And most of those bad shots came in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter when they were supposed to be driving to the basket. They just ran out of juice. 42 points from Anthony Davis. Let's get these stats before we
Got to
go
give
into the next one.
DeMarcus Cousins a little bit credit for the defense.
We're going to give DeMarcus credit because
he had 5 blocks and 2 steals.
He did better in this game. He had 6 turnovers as well. So, but 23 points for Drew Holiday, who had a pretty solid game in 39 minutes. 16 points from Etwan Moore, who continues to be that fourth dairy player in that 3-guard lineup. Now, let's look at this. Now, we said before the break that we was going to tell you, statistically break down to you why the Pelicans are struggling. Now, this is the reason. If you go over the Pelicans and you notice I've been saying this and preaching this, even G Balance from the Pelican Eye View, if you read his articles, he's been saying the same thing I've been saying, which is the Pelicans are running 8 and 9 player rotations. Some nights 8 rotational players, 5 starters, 3 bench guys up against teams that's sending out 10 players, that have 10 player rotations. You may say, well, what's 2 players? A lot, especially if you're not playing guys like Omer Asik, who was DMP'd, coach's decision, Sheik Diallo, DMP'd, coach's decision. Now, what's going on here? Well, let's look. Over the last 2 losses to the Dallas Mavericks and that stupid loss to the New York Knicks, which we're going to get into in a second, the Pelicans bench was outscored 102-20. 102-20. They were outscored over 2 games. Now, I'm just going back 2 games.
Yeah, it's crazy.
102-20 points, meaning that over the last two games, the bench averaging 10 points a game. That is not good. That puts all the pressure on Davis and Cousins and Holiday to produce. Look at the minutes from this game with Dallas. Anthony Davis played 42 minutes. He had 33 points. DeMarcus Cousins played 44 minutes, had 32 points, 20 rebounds in this game. And 8 assists, almost had a triple-double. He battled his ass off. Drew Holiday had 23 points and 39 minutes of action. And even Etwan Moore had 16 points and 35 minutes of action. Now, why do I say that? I say that to say this. The bigs, Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins, are not getting enough rest. Now, they are resting. They played Jameer Nelson 22 minutes, but Jameer does not cover for the bigs.
Right.
Ian Clark played 15 minutes. He does not cover for the bigs. Darius Miller played 14 minutes. He does not cover for the bigs. Dante Cunningham, who you could say covered for the bigs, played 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So your big guys are not getting enough rest, and it showed in this Dallas game. Even Anthony Davis said it, that he spoke about energy. Why are they not coming out with energy? Because they're tired. Because Gentry is not getting into his bench depth like he's supposed to. And when I say that, play the bigs. Play Amir Asik if he no longer have Crohn disease or muddy butt disease, whatever you want to call it, or Sheik Diallo. If Sheik Diallo is not ready to contribute, send Sheik Diallo to the development league. But they continue to not play Sheik Diallo. He's a high energy guy. He's a rebounding guy. He's a guy that can help get minutes for Anthony Davis or DeMarcus Cousins to rest up. Now, I just gave you some stats. That's hurt the transitional defense.
I think also
DC.
Sheik
What do you want to
Diallo.
add to that?
Sheik Diallo is a guy that I talk about, and I don't understand why we don't play him. More than anything,
I'm baffled by that.
More than anything else, what Sheik Diallo provides is energy. I mean, come on, man.
And that what they saying?
You've played basketball. I played basketball.
I beat you a couple of times, yes, sir.
I don't know about all that, but anytime you playing on a team, park ball, recreation or whatever, and you got this guy just going all out, diving for every loose ball. You know, like his life depends on it, man. That fires a team up. That makes other people want to hustle more. You know, it's contagious. And I feel like we have a little spark plug in that guy as far as that, and we don't utilize him. I mean, he can get some easy trash points in the basket, and he does make mistakes here and there. But one thing I like about Sheik Diallo, he's going to give you maximum effort every play.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that is the perfect guy to have in your bench rotation because that's exactly what we're lacking.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head, man. The energy aspect, plus Sheik Diallo allows the bigs to rest. Amir Asik allows the bigs to rest. Even if it's 10 minutes playing them or 15 minutes playing Amir Asik, or 10 minutes apiece for both those guys, that's 10 minutes that Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins could rest. You know, because it hurt them. The game against Dallas, they ran out of juice. Entire teams, what they do, they battled all the way back up into the fourth and had the game within 3. Then they started taking 3-point shots as opposed to attacking the basket. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? It's because they were tired. They were taking tired 3-point shots, and it takes work to get to the post. They were tired. And that's not because of them. That's because Gentry is not
very
shifting. He's not working
man.
his rotations correctly. He's wearing out the bigs.
And in his defense, we don't have.
There is no defense for this.
We don't have
to shoot down.
We don't have a lot of
for Gentry with.
We don't have a lot of players.
That's bad
for him
statistics.
to rotate.
There are plenty
of
players.
players for us to be able to use that.
What is Amir Asik? He's healthy.
Amir Asik actually hasn't looked that bad when he was
hasn't. So Sheik Diallo's not a rookie bum.
Nah,
Sheik Diallo. I mean,
Sheik Diallo to me is the answer, man. Because I think he's a constant reminder to these guys, like, hey, you are playing a kids game, a game that people would love to play for the money you have, and like, let's give some more energy. This could be over tomorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how that guy plays to me.
My thing is, and I agree with you on that, he brings the tireless energy. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. My issue,
this is a privilege for you to be able to do this.
Exactly.
Let's see the effort.
My issue is, I don't know if Al Gentry believes in him. Remember the last couple years when they finally were able to get the guy.
Gentry only believes in people who can shoot and make rebounds.
Gentry played the guy, but he sent the guy back and forth to the developmental league. Now they say, okay, we like him. He gained weight. He learned a little bit more, but you don't use him, even if it's 10 minutes. Give them 10 minutes, 12 minutes for both those guys just to spell the bigs so they can be more effective. 10 minutes.
You can't tell me Sheik Diallo can give you worse minutes than Dante Cunningham.
Come on.
You can't convince me.
Right. So here we go, people. We're about to go into our break. When we come back, we're going to recap the New York Knicks game. Then we're going to preview the Utah Jazz game. We're going to talk about some few other basketball topics that we have, including is Al Gentry the man to lead this team? We'll talk about that. And the pressure. With
back
the pressure.
On the Al gentrification?
With the pressure. With the pressure of the DeMarcus Cousins free agency and the AD trade rumors. Could this team survive, keep losing like this? We'll cover it on the other side. Stay with us.
Get the answers on the Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and more. Only on the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Argue, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelicans.
Attention, everyone.
Get breakdown on games, free agent signings, and potential moves. Unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Valley. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
Let me tell you about a news site that carries the news that you would want to know. News that's not the same as the rest of lamestream media, but a site that lets you know about the most important news on health, economics, tech, entertainment, science, food, sports, world news, positive living, paradigm shift, and a lot more. Go to theposhreportonline.co. That's right, theposhreportonline.co. Learn more. And remember, challenge everything.
In a world of corporate propaganda, support the true independents, telling it like it is with no teleprompter. Go to www.theposhlifestyle.com, life spelled Lyfe, and donate to keep independent media strong. Donate now.
Follow the Sports Coma on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Welcome back to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network. We're still talking about the Pelicans here. And we just covered up Dallas matchup. We're doing the Pelicans. And now we move into the New York Knicks matchup, which the Pelicans were facing an awful New York team that was pretty bad on the road. Not that terrific, but good enough to beat the Pelicans. Terrible. We're going to cover that.
At least they actually had a superstar. Much respect to that. I'm getting sick of being beat by these superstars.
The Pelicans, man, the joke I wanted to share with y'all is that the Pelicans are officially the kings of Midgard. Now I know if y'all follow Marvel tradition, if y'all follow Thor, if y'all like Thor from Marvel, you know the Earth is referred to as Midgard, which means middle of the plains. You know, there's the God's realm, then it's the hell realm, and in the middle of that is what they would consider the Earth realm, which is called Midgard. Well, the Pelicans are officially the kings of Midgard, or the kings of the middling, which means they are stuck. They are stuck. They are the kings of the middle. They cannot break away from the ultra gravity to go up. They are stuck to the flat earth.
And I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna give a shout out to my dog G Balance, and I'm gonna call them the champs of balance. They are perfectly centrifugal. How you say centrifugally? Sitting at 500.
They can't get away from
you don't get more balance than them.
I mean, they like the team. It's like a monster with a tractor beam locked on them. They can't get away. Anyway, they faced off against the New York Knicks, lose 105-103. Of course, the top man was Kristaps Porzingis. He put in 30 points and on the night, shooting 11 of 22 from the field. Anthony Davis was close with the top man with 31 points for the Pelicans. The Pelicans shot 45% versus New York's 43, almost 44%. Pelicans were awful from downtown, 23% from downtown. Knicks was 26, a little better. That's all it took to beat them. Pelicans turned the ball over 10 times, just 10 times on night. So they're getting better at not turning the ball over. But yet, is when you not turn the ball over as much as they do, the defense means it's getting better. But the Pelicans are just not closing these games the way they're supposed to. They now with they only had 10 turnovers, and they allowed 13 points off of 10 turnovers. The Knicks turned the ball over 7 times. The Pelicans only get 4 points off turn. I mean, they get the least points off the turnovers, and while giving, it's just amazing to me.
Because half the time when we get a turnover, we do something stupid with
they turn it back over. It's amazing. Then the Pelicans, of course, 85%. The Knicks shot from the free throw line, 18 of 21. The Pelicans went to the line 27 times and hit 21 of 27 for ultimately about 78%. If they would have hit at least 2 more of those free throws, makeable free throws, they could have either tied the game or probably won the game off the fact that they hit the free throws. They could not hit threes. They hit 6 threes versus what this team did. But the battle, how was this game won for the New York Knicks? Obviously, it was. If you look at the statistics don't tell you in kind how this game lost unless you look at the fact that they lost the game off the bench. The Pelicans bench was outscored, and they continue to be outscored. And it's like the Pelicans starters are playing 2 teams. They're playing the starter of the opposing team and then the bench, because when they come out, if they do come out, they can't maintain or hold leads. The Pelicans bench can't even build leads. So it's getting to the point where we starting to see the transition defense might very well be the fact that they're too tired to play defense.
Hey, now you beating
and now
the drum I've been
DC
beating
has been saying that
since
they're
about
tired.
10 games into the season.
And they're tired because they're not getting the proper rest off the bench because of screwed up rotations.
Everybody
This is
not
affecting the
LeBron
team.
James, man. Everybody can't play.
And
Not ever come out.
Andy Davis is not a slouch, man. He plays hard, playing 40-plus minutes a
But
game.
with the
and it's
intensity, even that
ridiculous, man.
Anthony Davis plays, he needs a break. He plays very high energy ball, man, on both ends of the floor.
And speaking of somebody that possibly could need a break, maybe perhaps an extended one, here's Al Gentry.
Coach, let's work backwards a little bit. Last play of regulation, a three-point shot for Anthony Davis. Is that what you had drawn up and were hoping for to end the game?
Well, that was one of the options. The other options was we were going to try to curl and. I mean, we know that we didn't need a three, but if the three were available to us, we were going to shoot it. It was a great shot. We just didn't knock it in, but I'll take that shot anytime with AD shooting.
Coach, you battled all the way back from down 16. I think you got up by 8 at one point. What changed at that point in the game?
I think we just got to be able to finish the game. We didn't finish the game. I think 81, 88, I think, and we had a turnover, gave up a three. Had some good shots at it that didn't go in, but it's back to you got to close out a game like that, and we had every opportunity to do it, and they didn't, and we didn't, and they did. They came back and made some shots. Porzingis had a couple of plays, Noah had a couple of plays, and I thought Jaren Jack was pretty good down the stretch.
We asked before the game about rebounding from yesterday's loss. What do you think of the way you guys came out?
We had energy. We just didn't make shots tonight. And we got behind, but I thought we played with energy. I thought we fought the whole time, and obviously we fought to get back and get ahead. It came down to closing the game, and we have to be able to close the game.
Is there a missing ingredient in these two games that carries over between them? Or
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's just 2 losses in the league, 2 home losses for us, which hurt a lot, but there's no carryover. There's not anything about it. We didn't play well enough to win the games. That's the bottom line,
That's Coach Al Gentry chiming in, telling us what he believes. He didn't mention the bench though, as DC said off.
We just got to do better.
I wonder why. Let's take a look at some of these some statistics breakdown from this game. The Pelicans started out cool from behind the arc. Cold, excuse me. Actually, you could say sub-zero from behind the arc. They sucked from outside. They're connecting just on one of their first 7 attempts. You would think that you would stop shooting the three-pointer when you're missing that badly and start attacking the basket. That's what fundamental teams would do. They scored 10 off the New Orleans, 21 points in that time frame. With the game tied at 19, the Knicks closed the first quarter 9-2 to run to take a 7-point advantage into the second quarter. The New Orleans reclaimed the lead early in the fourth and led by as many as 7 before New York cut the lead to 1 point with 6 minutes left. Pelicans answered with a 9-2 run to take an 8-point lead, the largest of the game. Now, that's when Gentry talks about the closing problems. With just under 3 minutes to play in regulation, New York staged their comeback. Trailing by 99-91 with less than 3 minutes remaining in regulation, New York went on a 12-2 run to take a 103-101 lead with 38.7 seconds remaining. Porzingis, he scored 8 of those points in the stretch, during that stretch, including the tying go-ahead baskets. And Porzingis scored 11 of his 30 points in the final time frame, so he just went on a tear. New York scored 60 points in the paint. That's the 3rd time this season the Pelicans have allowed somebody to score that many points on them. Both teams struggled shooting from three-point range on the evening, but guess what? The smarter team won. The team that realized we're not hitting threes, we got to go inside. Guess who figured it out first? The winning team, the New York Knickerbockers, who went on to win this game against the Pelicans 105-103, which they were pretty shocked that they actually won this game. They're going to pretend like, oh, yeah, we went in there. We knew what we was going to do. They were surprised they won this game. This should have not happened. This was one of those games where they should have handed the New York their butts. New York had injuries all over the place. Some of their top players, like Tim Hardaway, wasn't available. A lot of players that play for that team was not available to actually lend a hand. But they let the top dude, who you shouldn't let get going, Kristaps Porzingis, who buried them with 30 points, getting 11 of his, which in the money time, which ultimately ended up winning the game. DC, why? Why?
They were a better team.
That's what El Gentry would tell you.
Kristaps Porzingis, man, looked like the man possessed out there on the defensive end as well. He made life difficult for Anthony Davis, but as you can see, if you watch the tape, I'm pretty sure Kristaps Porzingis got a nice break.
He looked, man.
He looked fresh the whole game because he got a break.
He did. He took over when he reserved his energy, and like you said, the break they played.
And
the Knicks
Beasley
played,
also came out and he contributed
which is
from off that bench.
That's another thing that keeps happening is the fact that
they always
you always have a score.
Some bench guy always
that scores
comes
15
off and
points.
torches us.
Some bench guy comes off. That's been the breakdown. Now we look at what they do. Now, if you look at it, the Knicks had more than 10 players that came off the bench and contributed to them.
That's how it's supposed to be. You
Beasley,
got 5 players in the starting lineup. You want at least 5 to come off the bench.
Beasley had 15, 8 for Kyle Quinn off the bench, and 8 for Ntilikina, the rookie guard. You know, in this day, Anthony Davis finished with 39 points, 36 minutes. DeMarcus Cousins had 29 points. And then Drew Holiday does what Drew Holiday did. He disappeared in this game. He only had 13 points. Eastwine Moore, 12 points, 8 from Rondo. And we only expect Rondo to score. And then bench was Darius Miller with his 8 points. Of course, Sheik Diallo and Omer Asik was DMP. They did not play a dime. And it's just amazing to me. You are not going to be able to beat teams if you can't rest your players. At least let them have the rest.
Nice to just try once and see it.
I just don't.
I know you have rotations.
If we see it, why don't they?
Because you need to try different stuff because it doesn't work.
Okay,
we have rotations, I understand, and a lot of times you want one of your best players on the floor at all times.
Okay, well let's move forward here because
wait. What if we try to do a break? Not a break, but a substitution where we rest maybe 3 or 4 of our best guys at one time and actually let a whole bench unit come out there and play as a unit.
It'll be interesting. I just don't think they do it.
Don't they play against the starters in practice? Don't they have chemistry with each other?
I don't think they figured it out.
Ain't that what it's supposed to be?
I just don't think it's going to happen. This has been a cycle trend. That's why they
at least try it. I've never seen that happen.
I don't think we're going to try it. I think El Gentry's going to keep doing it, fixing his glasses and is watching his ball spot increase.
Just see what happens.
Let's look at these quick rapid fire shots. Of course, we're looking at going ahead here. They facing off against the Utah Jazz tonight, 8:00, Salt Lake City.
And that's funny. That should be our name. That should be the New Orleans Jazz.
Win or no win,
who
wins this
game?
game?
Damn Pelicans.
I would say that the Jazz is going to win this game because guess what? The Jazz is going to beat the Pelicans in Utah because the Pelicans do not win games in Utah.
And my friend, you have not been paying attention to the formula. I'm going to say they're going to win this game because they just lost to the Knicks, and there is nothing more than the Pelicans.
Should I remind you of rookie Donovan Mitchell, who scored 41 points against them in the last contest they played?
I don't care. There is nothing the Pelicans love.
Should I remind you of the fact that El Gentry is 13-24 against Utah?
There's nothing the Pelicans love more.
How about the fact that Kyle Quinn, their coach, is 7-4?
Nothing the Pelicans love more.
None of the statistics on your side.
Than being
quickly before
a 500 team.
Quickly before we go, rapid fire question, yes or no? Is Elvin Gentry the right coach to lead this team down the stretch?
El gentrification, hell no.
The pressure of the trade rumors of AD and DeMarcus Cousins versus free agency. Is DeMarcus Cousins going to lead this year?
No, he's going to finish out the year, but if we finish horribly, he's going.
AD trade rumors, anything else?
Nah, AD ain't going nowhere. Unless DeMarcus Cousins leaves, then he's probably going.
And the final question is, will the Pelicans fix their rotational issues by this game against Utah?
Will Alvin Gentry stop looking like a drunken goldfish?
No. Okay, that's all the questions that we have for you. That's all the show that we have for you. Thank you for joining us on tonight's Pelican Post-Game Report. We hope you enjoyed the game. We'll be back after the Pelicans. Remember, after the Pelicans game against Utah, remember, the Sports Coma show is going to a regular format. We'll be on every Monday at 12 o'clock and Friday at 4. You can listen to us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or Instagram. Find us, look us up, and friend us, subscribe to us. Thank you for listening to us, and have a nice day.
Peace out.
You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the Pro Media Network. for all things Pelicans.
What up, sports world? This Big Q from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. And I'm here to tell you about the website, theposhlifestyle.com. The Posh, P-O-S-H, life spell with a Y-L-Y-F-E style.com. You can go there and get all of your natural and organic needs met. Herbs and supplements for all over the body, healing crystals and beautiful jewelry, ionizers, alkalizers, and water filters to take all of the fluoride and chlorine and all of the filth out of your water. They got personal products, natural soaps. They even got deodorant without aluminum in it that is known to cause cancer. Dig that. Also books and entertainment to educate yourself. And they have a lot of EMF protection and healing magnetics. Now, you know EMF, that helps. They have diodes you can place on your phone or on certain electrical gadgets that can neutralize the harmful EMF radiation. Dig that. All of that is on sale at theposhlifestyle.com. Dozens of products, easy to use website. I use it all the time. Very easy to use and very safe. Protected website. You can go there, feel safe and shop. I shop there all the time. You can go there and give us a donation. Anyway, go check them out. The Posh Lifestyle. Go to theposhlifestyle.com. Check them out. Poshlifestyle.com. Check them out. Get your mind and body right with the Posh Lifestyle.